So we are on to the last lesson of the chapter. This will be a 2-day lesson though, so this is the first day of it. It's 16.7 real world problems, time and temperature. So we will be doing some two-step word problems on time and some word problems involving temperature. Before we get to that, I just want to quickly go through the workbook pages from yesterday. So measuring temperature, so this hot temperature is when water boils. This is a hot day. 68 degrees Fahrenheit is room temperature. 50 degrees is a cool day. And 32 degrees is when water freezes. For number 2 on the next slide, 71 degrees Fahrenheit, that is warm. Number 3, 123 degrees Fahrenheit, that is hot. Number 4, 92 degrees Fahrenheit, that is hot. Number 5, 85 degrees Fahrenheit, that is warm. 101 degrees Fahrenheit, that is hot. And 21 degrees Fahrenheit is cold. And then your last slide, if he is sitting there, we would say that's about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And because that's like room temperature. And then for this one, when you have a fever, you're about 102 degrees Fahrenheit. And then you just had to circle the picture that matches. You should have circled the ice cube and then the one where they're laying out in the sun. So let's take a look at some examples. So this is kind of cutting it off here, but it says Raphael is a city tour guide. He gives 45-minute tours. He's paid $30 an hour. On Saturday, he gave 8 tours. So sometimes they're going to break it down the 2 steps with an A and a B to help you solve. So for A, they want to know how many hours did Raphael spend giving the 8 tours on Saturday. So if he gives 45-minute tours and he's done 8 of them, we're going to start by doing 45 times 8, which is done right over here to get 360. Now again, for multiplication, I'm just going to run through this to refresh your mind. So first thing we're doing is multiplying the ones. 5 times 8 is 40. So the 0 in the 1 stays and we regroup the 4 to our tens place value. Next step is to multiply the tens. 4 times 8 is 32, plus that 4 that got regrouped gives us 36. So then we have a total of 360 minutes, which then we have to convert to hours. So he spent a total of 6 hours giving tours. Now we know that he is making $30 an hour giving these tours. So if he's working for 6 hours total from the first step, we're going to do 6 times 30 to get $180. So let's take a look at some examples. So a train makes several 45-minute scenic tours 3 times a week. Each tour costs $13 for each child. So here's some of the information that they were giving us. They want to know how many hours and minutes does the train go on Wednesday. Okay, so just on Wednesday. So that means our focus is here. And the length of the tour is 45 minutes. So to start, we need to take our 45 minutes and multiply it by how many tours. So there are 6 tours. So we will do this off to the side here and refresh our multiplication. So we're going to start by multiplying our ones. 5 times 6 is 30. 0 stays in our ones. We're going to regroup the 3 to the tens. 4 times 6 is 24 plus 3 gives us 27. So we have 270 minutes. Now we need to take 270 and break it up into hours and minutes. So this is where we're thinking, okay, 1 hour is 60 minutes, 2 hours is 120, 3 hours is 180, 4 hours is 240, 5 hours is 300. So that's too much. So we can pull out 4 hours which is 240 minutes, which means then we need to think 270 minus 240 to get how many minutes are left over, and that would be 30 minutes. So this would be converted to 4 hours, 30 minutes. Now, part B is asking us, how much does it cost for one child to go on tours for 90 minutes? So we know for a 45-minute tour, it costs $13. Oops. Now we need to think, what times 45 gives us 90? And that is if we double it, so times it by 2. So we're going to take 2 times $13. So again, do our multiplication on the side to refresh our memories. So multiply our 1s, 3 times 2 to get 6, and then multiply what's in our 10s. 1 times 2 is 2. So it costs $26. So you are going to be doing some practice here. So Ken takes 45 minutes to paint a chair. How long would he take to paint 7 similar chairs? So now this one, you will not need a timeline, so this will be gone when you do that. But you will need to show your work of converting it into hours and minutes. And I will write that for you. And then for the next one, clock shows 11:40 a.m. It is 35 minutes slow. What is the actual time? So if it's slow, that means the clock is behind. And for this last one that you're going to do, a clock shows 3:10 p.m. It is 25 minutes fast. What is the actual time? So if the time is fast, that means that the time that they're showing you here is ahead of what actual time it is. So you should be working backwards for that. Again, raise your hand once you finish, and then for today you're doing workbook pages 163 and 164.